Hello, everybody. Very happy to be here with you talking. I'm Fabio Vasquez. I'm going to be talking at the Open Data Science Conference in India very, very soon, less than 2 weeks now. And I'm going to be answering 7 questions, 7 important questions that you should take to your place and just read about them and have more information about it. And they're very important. And the first one is, what got me into data science or AI in the first place? So when I was studying physics, I discovered that I like a lot programming, and I love C++ and the stuff I learned back then. And then I discovered R and Python, and I was blown out. I was like, oh my God, this is a very important language, very easy to use, and very powerful to go from zero to a hero. So after discovering these languages, I realized that one of the most important things for me was not only to get into the applications and stuff, but also the internals of the language, how to create libraries and stuff. So it was very interesting for me in the beginning of my career as a data scientist to be able to interact with communities, open source parts, and collaborations. And I think that one of the most important steps in my learning curve was getting into Spark, and actually contributing into the Spark collaboration was a very important point in my career. The community is awesome. They have all the tools to help you to get started with a pull request or a simple commit. So I think it was very, very important for me. And after studying physics and then going into computer engineering, I realized that the key point from those parts was data. Data is all over the place. I mean, we have data on physics, we have data on science, data on marketing, data on business. And if I understand and if I learn how to use the tools for data, I could manage to have a very interesting tools in my hands to solve problems for different kinds of people. So the pattern for me was discovering that data was the thing that interested me in the first place. So I started digging into data, downloading data sets, and just playing with them. And after a while, I discovered that machine learning was very interesting, and deep learning, and going into the internals of libraries and stuff is still present for me. But actually being able to solve problems with the tools in my hands, I think is very cool. So now, what's the most exciting part for you in data science or AI? I think the most exciting part for me is feeling that I have the power to change the world. You may be working in an office and stuff, and I do that too, but I'm contributing to the world with my knowledge and with the things I've been learning in the past years with blogs and articles and videos and webinars and in conferences. And I think it's important because I don't know, and you don't know how important are your words. And this is what I call the power of ideas. Sometimes you mention something, you do something, and you don't have the actual understanding of the repercussion this has on other people. So I might be creating an article called Introduction to Deep Learning, and I have no idea if the person reading that's going to change the world. He's going to create the algorithm that solve a big problem for humanity, and that's very important to me. So I'm dedicated right now into the education part, and also working for companies, solving their problems and stuff, and feeling that power of being able to understand a topic in a level that I can teach that subject, and I can solve problems for me and for other people too. I think that's very important and very cool about data science. Okay, so what do I think is the biggest challenge faced by data scientists today? I think one of the biggest challenges we have as data scientists right now is to start in and learn all these different things we have to learn to actually do data science. I think it's not that easy to get into the field because it's not a regular field. You have things about business, you have stuff about marketing, you have to understand how to program, how to do like software in a real way, testing your software. And most of us are coming from a like academia and stuff, it's not that easy to jump from academia into business or into the industry. So I think taking that leap and actually be willing to learn all these different things you have to learn to be a data scientist is the most difficult part. But this is I think this challenge has a solution, and I think right now a lot of different data scientists in the world are creating top class like lectures and courses for everyone, free or in a very cheap cost that you can afford, and actually understand this subject and all of these different problems from a perspective of a person who did these things for a business, or a company, or teach them on the academia. So I think the gap is going to be shrinking in these next years, and you should not be afraid. Of course, there's a lot of things to learn, there's a lot of things to understand, but don't be afraid. There's people there trying to help you. I'm trying to help everyone I can when they join into data science. So have the will and be passionate about it. All right, so what do I think is the biggest obstacle for data science and AI adoption? I think the biggest challenge here, or biggest obstacle, is actually getting people to understand what's data science. Once people understand what's data science and what do we actually do, I think it won't be that hard for data science to be in every company, in every school, and to be an important part of every process. This is not an easy task. This is why we have these conferences, for you to go there, really understand what's data science, and being able to explain to your boss or your people or your teacher or your mom, what do you actually do? Why? Because if you don't have the tools to explain someone you are doing, or why spending 3 months creating a model will be an important thing for the business you're in to improve revenue or whatever, I don't think they will be able to give you the money to start doing that, or invest in data science. So data science is an amazing field with a lot of different opportunities, and we need to be able to understand what do we do, how to do it in a way that it will solve the problems for people. This is not only creating programs and creating a chart in your Jupyter notebook. This is actually about solving problems. And that problem can be very different from, it could go from changing the way a company works when selling a product, to stopping people from getting out of the company, to actually understand how a system works in reality and in science or whatever. So be able to understand this in a way you can explain to others in terms that they understand that. All right. So for me, what's my favorite session at ODSC India that you're looking forward to attend? This is a very hard question, because one of my favorite talks is by Tarisin, and it's at the same time as mine. So it's going to be hard for me to be two places at the same time. So I'm not going to be able to go there. So he has a very interesting talk about neural networks, deep dive. I think it should be really interesting. And if you don't want to go to mine, it's okay. You can go to a workshop that you're really interested in and you think it will work for you and your company or your business or wherever you want. I think one of the other great talks is by Jared Lander, Machine Learning with Art. It's a workshop too. In the talk section, I think there are very cool part here. I think one of the interesting things I'm seeing right now is the talk by Anush Gupta. Is called Sarcasm Detection. That's interesting. I would like to go there. Other very interesting one right now for me is by Mridul Mishra, Explainable AI. I think that's interesting too. One of the other cool topics is by Jana Kiram, and it's called Accelerate Machine Learning Adoption with AutoML. I think AutoML is a very, very important topic, and it will be very cool to be there. One of the biggest one for me is by Akshay Bahadur. I know him from LinkedIn, and he's doing an amazing job. And his talk is about recognizing human features with deep networks. I think that's a very interesting topic. And going forward to the next day, I think a very interesting one can be democratizing analytics driven decision marketing at enterprise scale by Nitin Sarin. I think that's very cool. There's another one that's very cool by Dipanjan Sarkar, and I think this I'll go there. It's called The Art of Effective Visualization of Multidimensional Data, a hands-on approach. He has a very cool blog post about this, so I think it's a must for you to go there. Let me just go through here, and I think one of the other cool talks is by Joy Mustafari, the artificial intelligence ecosystem driven by data science. I think that can be very interesting. Let me see now. Oh, this one looks very cool. It's called "Let the Machine Think for You" by Shrishak Baumik. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce these names. If you're listening to this, I'm sorry. And I mean, there's a lot more things to see there, to go there and just have a taste of very different topics. And one of them can be a life changer for you. You don't know if you go to one of these sessions and you see, hey, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So make sure to see the page on Conf Engine and to go to the ODSC India webpage and see all the different conferences that are going to be going on in different places. So you choose the best ones for you and create a calendar for yourself. I think that's the best way for you to actually attend to the sessions you want to go. Take a note. Okay, I want to go to this one, this one, and this one. And if you see for some reason that two of them are at the same time, make a choice. you have nothing else to do. So I hope seeing you there. My talks are gonna be the first one. If you're interested, it's gonna be the first talk. That's gonna be in August 30 about agile data science workflow with Python, Spark, and Optimus. And my other talk will be on September 1. And this will be deep learning with Apache Spark. So hope seeing you there. Okay, one next question is, you're traveling all the way from Mexico to Bangalore to present at ODSC India. What got you interested in to present at this conference? So this is a very cool question, and it's a very long trip. If you see me there and I look like a zombie for the first 2 days, I'm sorry. It's gonna be more like 35 hours travel from here to India. I'm very excited to be there and all, but it's gonna be very hard. And I think this is an amazing conference. I've been watching some videos on past ODSC conferences for all around the world, and to be able to be in one of them and talking about and talking to you about the things I'm working on, I think it's an amazing opportunity. And I'm very excited to meet a lot of people in India, because India for me is an amazing place. I have a lot of people that I'm connected to them on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and they're all very engaging with what I say, and they have a lot of cool questions for me, and I've learned a lot from them too. So I think it's a very cool place to be right now, and hope seeing you there. Okay, so last one, and this is any personal message or remarks you want to share with the DS AI community in India. I think what I can say right now is keep doing what you're doing, keep engaging with people, keep posting your questions, keep posting your findings, creating different kind of articles, and be part of the community. I think one of the other important things for me to get to data science was going to the community, ask questions, be there all the time. And then when I felt okay, I think I know some things to share, and I started sharing them. I think it was a big change for me. If you want to get a job, the best way is not applying for thousands of jobs with the easy apply thing on LinkedIn. The best way is to get out there and create some examples, share what you know, and create blogs, articles, videos, whatever. And don't be upset if they don't have 1,000 views or 10 million views. It's okay. If you're starting this, it's gonna take some time for you to have a presence on media, and it's part of the learning curve of actually being someone and that people can trust on data science. So if that's your goal, I think go with that. And there's a lot of different people that are not that happy on being on the camera or talking, and that's very cool. But if you really want to get to the next level, contribute to open source. I think that's the best way to get people to know you, to get to know your work, what you can do. And there are amazing packages there that are waiting for you: Python, in Go, in Scala, in R, C++, Fortran, whatever you know. There are packages for that, for data science, for machine learning, for deep learning. So make sure to be there and have fun. Most of what we do in life is work. So if you don't like it, it's gonna be really hard for you to be happy. So have fun while learning, have fun while working. And I'm very excited to meet you in person. So if you're gonna be there, please ping me, send me a message on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and Facebook, whatever, and I'll make sure to answer you. So see you soon.